All right, for this video, we are going to look at lines that are cut by a transversal. Transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines. So in these top three diagrams, this is a transversal, this is a transversal, and this is a transversal. Notice that line P is intersecting lines M and N in all three diagrams. And so we're going to look first of all at alternate exterior angles. The exterior is the area that is outside the two lines that are being cut by the transversal. So we are only looking at these angles 1 and 2, 8 and 7. Those are exterior angles. They are outside lines M and N. Alternate means they are on opposite sides of the transversal. So we're given an angle pair of 2 and 8. Notice they are outside exterior of lines M and N, and they are on opposite sides of our transversal. So angle pairs 2 and 8 are alternate exterior angles. But we have another pair of alternate exterior angles, and that would be angles 1 and 7. So angles 1 and 7 are also alternate exterior angles. We move over to our next diagram. We are looking at alternate interior angles. Well, if the area outside of the lines being cut by the transversal is the exterior, then the area between the two lines that are cut by a transversal is the interior. So we look at the angle pairs 3 and 5. Notice they are inside the two lines that are cut by the transversal, and they are on opposite sides of the transversal, so they're alternating. Another pair that we have is angle 4 and 6. So angles 4 and 6 represent another pair of alternate interior angles. The third set of angles we're going to look at are corresponding angles. Okay, best way to think of corresponding angles is that they're in the same position regarding the lines that are being cut by the transversal as well as the side of the transversal. So let's look at the four that are listed, or the two pairs that are listed here. Notice angle 1 and angle 5 are located to the left of the transversal and above each of the lines. So you could say they're in the upper left-hand corner of these intersections. Okay. If we look at 2 and 6, they're located in the upper right-hand corner of these groups of 4 angles. Notice that 2 is to the right of the transversal above line M, 6 is to the right of the transversal above line N. And we have 2 more angle pairs that are corresponding angles, and I'm going to use boxes to separate them. So notice angle 4 and angle 8 are a pair of corresponding angles. These triangles here, and angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding angles. They are in the same position in the cluster of 4 angles. Now we're going to move over to this page here. This is page 3. And we have 2 diagrams. This one is very similar to what was on the other page. And this is just a set of 2 lines and 2 transversals. So the key is going to be looking at what transversal we're referring to. The pairs of angles are already given to you for diagram A. So we're just going to walk through diagram B. So this one, we want the transversal to be line A. So this is our transversal here. What is it cutting through? It's cutting through lines C and D. Okay, so we're going to be looking at these sets of angles to fill in this column here. Okay, so alternate exterior angles are going to be outside of the lines that are being cut by the transversal, and they're going to be on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so what I have here is, notice I have 1 and 7. And we have angle 4 and angle 6. When we look at the alternate interior angles and the corresponding angles, notice they want us to use transversal line C. So here's transversal line C, which means the lines that we're looking at are A and B. Those are the 2 lines being cut by transversal C. So when we look at alternate interior angles, they're going to be in the interior, and they're going to be on opposite sides or alternating sides of the transversal. So one set is angle 4, angle 14, and the other set would be angle 3 and angle 13. When we come over to the corresponding angles, notice that we have a cluster of 4 angles here and a cluster of 4 angles here. So we're actually going to have 4 pairs of corresponding angles. I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner of the cluster of 4. So 1 and 13 is a set of corresponding angles. And then I'm just going to go clockwise. 2 and 14. 3 and 15. And then 4 and 16. And they are corresponding angles because their positions correspond to each other.